What is up, guys? DT Ninja here to bring you my RuroKen Hokkaido Hen Chapter 7 review. This is also a special unboxing of the Hokkaido arc Volume 1. So I have, the box here, so we're going to open it up. But before we get to that, I wanted to share my new magazine. So this is the SQ magazine that just recently came out. The latest chapter of Kenshin is in here, so we're going to review it, and I will be sharing the scans as we review. So anyways, before we even get to that, I want to share with you my latest pickup, and that is definitely the special edition poster that came with the magazine. So the magazine actually has a special edition poster, and it is an A2 poster, so it's a large poster. As you guys can see, it says Anima Real. Basically what this is a company or project done with popular anime, and it is a project to make anime look more real. So that is part of it, and the other part is the actual characters. So you can see that is what it looks like. Let's open it up. So when we open it up, this is what it looks like. So this is the Anima Real part, okay? You can see Kenshin there. Looks a little more realistic there. And then on the back, look at this. This thing is beautiful. Look at this. Look at this. You have Kenshin there, you have Sano, you have Saito, and this is from the Hokkaido arc. So this is an exclusive only for the magazine. So you have to buy the magazine to get the poster, and I'm going to be putting it up on the wall. I'm going to change my Itachi one there. That's not even a poster, and I'm going to place this next to the Shishio Kenshin illustration that I have. So this is definitely going up there, probably on this side, because this side is probably the coolest. But yeah, just a look at my new poster. Really awesome. Let me show you guys up close there. You got Kenshin there with his reverse blade sword. You got Sano in the back, and then Saito here. So yeah, that's just a look at my poster. It just says Rurouni Kenshin all across it, so pretty awesome. Anyways, that's just a look at my new poster. Okay, guys, let's open the box now. I figured, why don't we do that before the review, because I don't know how long I'm going to take on the review. So let's open the box up. Yeah, alright. So one of them is Shokugeki no Soma's LTOL, Atoil, the Shinomiya's story. And this one is the Hokkaido Hen Volume 1. Look at that artwork, guys. Look at that artwork. That is awesome. That is epic. Yo, I'm glad I finally got it. This one also has Ashitaro's story, I believe. Obviously, he's in it. So I can't wait to open this up. Let's open it up. So we got a nice little slipcover here. It looks like there's some kind of campaign on the back. And it looks like there's some kind of artwork that you can win. Okay, let's open it up. That's what the full volume looks like without the slipcover. Alright. Oh, wow. Okay, let's take off the slipcover. So the slipcover looks like that. This is what the, the actual... the cover actually looks like without the slip cover. So there's actually two covers, as you guys know. It has the reverse blade sword, pretty cool, and then the cross-shaped scar on the back, pretty cool. And then we open it up, and we've got wow, I have another poster. Now, I already have this poster, but now I have another small poster. This is awesome. I can actually put this one up on the wall as well. So it actually comes with a nice little illustration poster there, a mini poster. Really awesome, guys. So this is what the table of contents look like. It looks like this contains Ashitaro's story, or the prologue, and it has parts 1 and 2, and then it has chapters 1, 2, and 3. So it goes up to chapter 3. So that tells us, guys, that volume 2 is also going to be released, fairly soon, because there's only 5 chapters in this volume. So obviously, if this is chapter 7, 4, 5, 6, 7, probably after chapter 8, there's going to be another volume release. So good stuff. But yeah, this is just a look at the volume. Let's take a look at some of the scans here. Got Ashitaro in action there. Pretty cool. And then you got, the boss coming out of the syndicate. Let's see. Ah, yes, Shishio. Yes, look at that. Awesome. And then you got more Shishio. You shall become my 11th. Show me how you can become my 11th sword, Ashitaro. Really awesome. Shishio. And then we got more of the story here. That's Ashitaro's. And then we got Kenshin coming in. Look at that. Kenshin arriving. Using his Ryo-Shosen. Pretty cool. Yeah, that's the Ryo-Shosen. And then we got the opening of the Hokkaido arc, the first chapter. It goes all the way to the 3rd chapter, it looks like. Yeah, there's Byakuya and the Swordsman weapons. That's pretty awesome. Yeah, this is really cool. Ah, Yaiko's fight with Kenshin. Yaiko's fight with Kenshin. There's more of it. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. And then he returns to Sakabato. Really cool, guys. So this has been a first look, and obviously this is a really awesome one. This is him in the kind of the woods, with the bamboo, the bamboo forest, and he's, wielding the Sakabato like he did back in one of the chapters during the Jinshu arc. So that's a really cool to see him back showing that same scene again. But yeah, that's just been a look at volume 1. Pretty cool stuff, guys. Pretty cool. Alright, guys, so now that we've looked at volume 1 a little bit, let's get into the review. Yes, so chapter 7 is in in the SQ magazine of October 2018. So we open it up, and this is what we see. We see Byakuya Itakura, the leader of the Swordsman weapons. He's imprisoned, right? He's in a prison. So he's in a prison, and these are the police officers that are supposedly supposed to guard him, watch over him, basically make sure he doesn't, escape. So he just looks on and he starts talking to them, and he's like, so you can't use a rifle, can you? So he's kind of, egging them on a little bit, pissing them off, because we all know that he can catch bullets, with his special technique, and also rifles kind of don't work on him. So they use a spear, and then look at this. Okay, look at his eyes there at the bottom. He's like using some kind of eye technique. I'm not sure what it is. It kind of reminds me of the Byakugan a little bit. But unlike the Byakugan, look how blurry his vision becomes. It's crazy. His vision becomes blurry, and they turn into animals. Look at that. Look at this. He turns into a freaking minotaur. It looks like a minotaur to me. And then this guy turns into, the little guy turns into a monkey. And so he has a spear, and he's like, well, this guy, he doesn't surpass the true art of the spear. But he says, then the army had the nerve to come at me. And then he goes berserk. Look at this. He attacks him on point blank. So you can see the spear coming right at him. And as it reaches him, he blasts that officer. And not only that, he gouges his eyes. Look at this. He gouges his eyes, his ears. He basically instantaneously kills him. If he's not dead, he's near death. So that's freaking crazy. Byakuya is incredibly dangerous. His power is crazy. I can't even explain what just happened. There's some kind of pressure created, because that's what Saito said. There's some kind of pressure created with his arm, but it even seemed like, you know, his arms are being, you know, confined. You know, he has the cuffs on, so whatever it is, it's not necessarily just his arms either. But then you have the sinister title skin. That's freaking awesome. And he says, you know, I have no use for beasts, and he breaks the, you know, he breaks the chains here. They're not really chains, they look more like wooden ones. And then he's like, I have no use for damn beasts. And he says, bring me a warrior, a true warrior like Hajime Saito. So he's obsessed with Hajime Saito. Ever since the last chapter, he's been obsessed with Hajime Saito. It's like, ever since he fought him, he's been intrigued. He's been, you know, he just wants to feel that feeling of fighting a true warrior. And that's what he feels that Hajime Saito is. And then we transition to, you know, Ashitaro eating like a madman. And then Sano's there and he's like, well, I have one thing we can add to, let's go to a hot spring. And obviously this does not sit well with Kaoru, and she's very upset. And then she explains in detail all of their things they need to do, finding Koshijiro, then finding you know, Asahi, and also the request from Eiji-kun to interrogate the prisoner Byakuya. Now, what's interesting about this one is that she elaborates on all of them, and then we actually see them do each of these tasks. So I love how Atsuki actually shows, you know, what's going on in the story, but then we actually move forward, we progress. So it actually goes to those things, and we see one part of each doing those. So that was really cool. And then you have Kenshin here. This was nice. He was like, you know, I should pay a visit to Saito, so before I go to the interrogation. And obviously Sano's like, well, we have time then, we can go to the hot springs. And then this is hilarious. Look at little Kenji down here. He pats his mom's head, and then suddenly she goes berserk. Look at this. The next page, she just like loses it. I don't know if something snapped in her, but she's like, no, stop adding things onto what we're supposed to do. And then Kenji is like copying off of mom, so that was pretty funny. But yeah, and then you see Ashitaro and Aran down here. They're going to look for Asahi, and then the determined look on Aran. He's like, I'm definitely going to find her. I have a feeling I know where she is. And then right after that, you got Kaoru going back to Tamoto Studios. So like I said, progression. It's just really nice. And then as we go forward, you got Eiji, you know, and giving him the notes for the interrogation. Just to, yes, more about Eiji. What happened to him? And it's explained in detail. Here it explains that he moved to Aizu, where you know, that is where Tokio lives, Saito's wife. And he lived with her, and it says he lived with her until the age of 17. So he was helping her with the family business. Now, what I found interesting about this is that the family business, this kind of tells us that possibly Eiji was adopted and he is part of their family now. And we also saw the reaction of Saito in the last chapter, so it really does beg the question, you know, he is part of their family. That's how I see it. And also this kanji right here, that says Jika. Jika literally means one's parents' home. So it means his parents' house. So it's referring to, you know, Eiji's parents' house. So obviously he's referring to Tokio and Saito's home in Aizu. But I found that very interesting how it goes in detail like that. But yeah, pretty cool. Okay, moving on. The very cool part of the chapter. Okay, Gordio Kaku Fortress, the Star Fortress, guys. This is a historical place. This is an actual place taken from Hokkaido. So this is actually, a place in history taken and used, adapted into his story. So I love it. I love it. And I'm going to share a scan of the actual fortress. So this was actually used during the Edo period, by the Bakufu, the shogunate. So he actually used this fortress, and it was then used afterwards by the Ezo Republic during the Meiji, and then taken back afterwards. So now it is a public park. It is a park in Hokkaido. So really cool how they adapted it in this story to be a prison for Byakuya Itakura. So pretty cool. And then that leads us to the next part, which is seeing the swordsman weapons. Now, the swordsman weapons here reveal their names, okay? So first off, we have the guy, the cool guy in the glasses. He's kind of upset, annoyed, losing patience. So this guy's name is Gongu. Gongu is his name. That's the name of this guy. Now, there's another guy that's on the scope here, the spy scope here. His name is Amachi. So he's revealed as well. And then this guy here, this ugly looking guy that has a rock face, he's very interesting. He's actually a strategist, and he's more patient than the others. And his name is Doi. He says that, Itakura is probably waiting for a warrior, and he wants Saito. So we get this idea that Saito really got to him, and he's just really impressed with Saito. He wants to fight a true warrior. And then this guy, okay, this guy's probably the most interesting to me. Look at how he looks when he says Saito here. He says Hajime Saito. So they're talking about how Saito foiled their plans, and they made plans to counter them. But this guy is very interesting. We saw many things throughout the last chapters. Hijikata, was a picture that Kenshin saw. The way Kenshin looked at Hijikata was like, he found peace in the end. So I don't think they would do that. I think he's dead. So, but what I do think is that maybe he is a surviving member of the Shinsengumi. Maybe he is a relative or he obviously knows Hajime Saito, and he has that scar above his eye. So that's pretty neat. But yeah, this guy is very interesting. And like I said, this guy, Doi, down here is the strategist. He kind of talks about the convictions of the swordsman weapons. And yeah, so really cool. But this guy, he goes into depth saying that slaughter is meaningless. Without meaning, we can't kill someone. Basically, it seems like he has similar justice to Saito or Kenshin. Very similar in their warrior, ways. I'm not going to say they're exact, but it seems that he's different from the others. But yeah, this guy Doi is the one who's the strategist and more level-headed. And then, they see him on the scope. They see Kenshin there, and then that's the end of the chapter. We get him, Kenshin, and it basically says, now that Kenshin has shown, or the warrior has shown up, Itakura is going to act. So things are going to get more interesting. So that is just a quick look at the chapter, guys. But yeah, those were things that I found very interesting about the chapter. The Shinsengumi were mentioned several times, so that is another thing to keep in mind. Saito was mentioned several times, so obviously Byakuya has interest in him. Did he join him? No. Byakuya, he didn't join him. And what it sounds like to me is the army showed up, because Byakuya was really pissed off. But then he goes on to say that I allowed you to capture me so I could just play with you and destroy each and every one of you one by one. So he's really sick and sadistic. But at the same time, he feels kind of like, damn you, Saito, you caught me off guard. So, and it sounds like the Swordsman weapons felt the same way. They foiled his plans. So, anyways, a good chapter, really good stuff. Definitely check out my latest translation of Chapter 7. Also, I will be doing a discussion that's more in-depth. This has just been a visual review, a little things that I wanted to talk about. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next one.